Hello and welcome to another screencast by USCHOOL Solution. In this presentation, we will be looking at observatory assessments. The observatory assessment is the test where an observer watches a participant perform a task and rates their performance. This makes it possible to evaluate skills or abilities that are difficult to measure using traditional assessment method of grading students by their marks. So this assessment type is normally used in the preschool to observe children's development. USCHOOL allows you to do this. You can have your observatory assessment in USCHOOL. So in this presentation, we'll be looking at how to set up observatory assessment in USCHOOL and the teacher's feeling of assessment in USCHOOL. So to set up observatory assessment in USCHOOL, you first need to turn it on. So to turn on observatory assessment, we go to Settings, Administration, General Settings. Then under General Settings, on the last option here, Enable Observatory Assessment. You turn it on just as I have here, and you just click Save. So with my observatory assessment turned on now, the next thing to do is I need to set up which classes will be using this mode of assessment. This observatory mode of assessment, which classes in my school will be using this. So to do that, I come to Settings, Academics, then Manage Classes. I am using it in my preschool. In my preschool for KG1 and KG2. So as you can see, the assessment type is observatory. You can add any new class. Let's say KG1A. If I have two, and I select observatory assessments. The grading here is inconsequential, so I just save. And so you can see I have observatory assessment. So the classes that you would want to have this mode of assessment, you set them up here under the class management section. So now I have these classes offering the observatory assessment. So now I define my observatory assessment by defining the categories first. So under Settings, Academics, I come to my gradebook setup. So my gradebook setup, I have two main modes of assessment. I have graded subject assessment, which is the traditional subject assessment. They have the observatory assessment. So my concern here is the observatory assessment. So I select observatory assessment. Then when I select observatory assessment, you see all the other fields are grayed out. So I enter the categories of the observation. So the categories, what I have here, I have social development. So I'll be observing social development of the children, fine motor development, their writing skills, and their physical development. If you have any other categories of development you would want to add, you just enter it here, and then you just save it, and it will be added to the list. So after defining my categories of observation, now I go to the observables. That is the items that I'll be observing under each of these categories. So under social development, what will be the observations I'll be doing there? Under fine motor development, what will I be observing? So to add that, we come to Settings, Academics, then Observatory Assessment. So because these are the two categories of classes that I have chosen to be doing observatory assessments, like preschool. So this is coming from the classes that have been assigned. So their section will come up here. So I have preschool and my early years. So for my preschool, I come to social development. That is the category. And these are the items I'll be observing under. So I'll be observing whether the child listens attentively, follows instructions, respects others, plays cooperatively, shows responsibility, gets on well with others, and any other thing you would want to observe under social development, you add it here. And if that observation will apply to the other sections, so I have two sections, my preschool and early years sections. If what I'm entering here will apply to both sections, I just select apply to all sections, then I save. So in effect, these are the observables I'm interested in under their social development. Under fine motor, also you can see I'm looking at how they control pencil, crayons, form letters, printing of first name, independently with first letter capitalized. I'm looking at basically their writing skills, their fine motor skills here. Then under their physical development, I don't have anything under physical development yet. Under their writing skills, I'm looking at their scribbling, their drawing, and using of random letters and stuff. So the school decides what they'll be measuring under whatever category they want to measure. Now, after defining this, we also have their grading system. So how will these be graded, these observations? How will they be graded? So that is done under academics, observatory grading. So under the observatory grading, these are the grading that I have adopted. I'm giving A for exceeding expectation. If the child is making adequate progress in that observatory asset item, whether it's showing progress or it's an area of concern. So you can, these letters don't really mean anything, it's just a way for us to kind of graduate what we are, the interpretations or the gradings that we are giving. So you can use any letter that you want. So these are how I intend to grade the students or the children's performance, the observations that I'm interested in. This is how I choose. So that is what I call my grading system. So in doing this, the setup for the school is done, it's completed. Now, it is up to the teachers, to enter to actually grade the students. So with the teachers grading of the students, we do that under the teachers section, which is Rosina. So to switch quickly to Rosina, this is a teacher who is logged in. So for a teacher who is logged in, to fill the observatory assessment, come to assessment, observatory assessment. So which classes are assigned to me? So I am in KG1. So I get my class lists. And this is the observatory assessment page for the class. You can see I've completed for the first two students, Esther and Yusuf. And already assessment is not done. Remark is not started. Remark is not done. So I want to continue with already. So I click on assessment. Then I select the category. So under social development, you see it's observed, it's not observed. So I say listen attentively, it's making adequate progress, He's progressing here, get somewhere with others, this is an area of concern. Then I just see it. So that is it, I'm done. I'm done with the social development assessment. Let's find motto. He's showing adequate progress, exceeding expectation with his crayons, forms letters, adequate progress. He's progressing here. He's progressing here. Progressing here. So basically, this is what the teacher does. This is what the teacher does with his writing skills, exceeding expectation with the scribbling. He's progressing. So basically, this is how the teacher feels the assessment. And he is done. He or she is done. Physical development, there's nothing under that So I come back from here, and you can see now Redu's assessment is completed. Then I can go ahead and add his remarks. So when I come to remarks, now this is the class teacher's remarks. So the class teacher's remark, I will say Redu has performed incredibly well this term. She has shown adequate progress in all fields. I mean, whatever you want to enter as the remarks, you put it there. And the attendance, currently I'm not marking the attendance with this, so I can just put anything here. And then I assign the remark. And this is done. So when I come back here, you see now Redu's assessment is completed. And by this, the assessment is ready for printout in the system. And that can be done in the main system, USCHOOL academics, terminal reports. I can select the year and the class KG1. I can preview them here. And I can view the assessment remark, the reports, observatory assessment for the chart, and here they are. So in effect, this is the observatory assessment in USCHOOL. Thank you and have a great day.